So with this, we're going to look at, so we looked at the align palette, we're going to make that kind of go away. We are going to now look at the Pathfinder. I am going to change the color of this just so you can see the difference. And I'm going to show you these Pathfinder, these shape modes, which, I mean, this is really kind of the heart of what Illustrator can do. So let's take a look at that. So I can select this, and I can do the Unite. So what the Unite is going to do is just that. Right? Oh, this is great. So it has made this into one shape. So no longer do you have to deal with necessarily is it grouped, is it not, da, 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 da. You may say, well, why did it turn it red and not black? Well, because the red is sitting over top. Let's look at it the reverse. Oh. It's whatever color is sitting on top. So in this case, in order to do that, right, how did you get it backwards, right? If you go Object, Arrange, you can either send it to back, which is what I did. You can send it backwards, which is just kind of sending it backwards. It's like picture if you had a line of students and they were 10 deep, and you took the first one and you sent them to the back, which means all the way back, versus just sending them backwards one student. That's the real difference. So with here, it's just whatever's sitting on top. Unite it, there it is. Now it's one shape, and I can move this around. And that makes working with it so much easier if that's really kind of where you want that to go. So the next one, which is here, minus front. So watch. So what did it do? Let's move this in front and see what happens. Right, we're going to do that, minus front. Basically cut a hole in this shape. There we go. So what it does is it takes whatever is in front and it minuses it out. So let's move this here. Let's do two shapes. Right here, select that, do minus front. You can see it basically cut a hole in it. Okay, so intersect. Let's see what that does. Let's do it with one shape here. Select both of these, do intersect, and you can see it's just where, again, it's just kind of where those pieces kind of overlapped. So let's make this a little bit bigger, and let's see what happens. Right, it's just where those pieces kind of intersected or overlapped. And this one is Exclude. So basically, it takes where it overlaps and kind of takes that shape out. Now, I have to tell you, I don't use Exclude all that often. So let's take a look at some of these other ones down here: divide, trim, merge, crop, outline, and minus back. So a lot of these are doing somewhat of the same thing that's over here. But let's just take a look. Divide is the only one that really kind of does something different. The difference between these is they're going to do something, and the object's going to be grouped, and you necessarily won't see the difference right away. So let's click on this, and we're going to do divide. And you may say, well, dzobel, what happened? Nothing happened. I'm clicking this divide thing, and nothing is happening. Remember, it turns it into a group. Now, this is the first time we talked about groups. So basically, it locks this together, right? To get a group would be Command J, just in general. So I'm going to go to Object, Ungroup. And what that does now is it sliced it into pieces, right? Which is pretty cool. So let's get this back outside of that group. And let's do trim. You may say, oh, wait a minute. What happened? Well, again, let's ungroup that. And you can see it's doing the same thing like some of the other ones. It's just now, instead of having the result actually happen, it actually splits it out into separate shapes so you can kind of manipulate them. Right, this is not separate. Okay. So let's take a look at what merge would do. So again, you may say, well, wait a minute. What happened? It merged them, right? So there's no longer anything back there. And it did merge them. It did bring them as one, but it's not one shape. It didn't change the color. You can see the colors aren't shifting at all in this because it's not actually forming one new shape. It's actually just creating a new kind of compound. It's called a compound path. So it's two paths that they've done something to make it kind of together. Crop, as you can see, what that does. Outline, takes it and makes it into outlines. There's lots of ways to do that. I don't know why you would need that. And the only other thing is this is the reverse of minus front. This is minus back. So whatever in the back is going to trim. Right? So the black is in the back, so it's trimming everything except this little piece that's here. Okay. So those are your Pathfinders, and they're very good for lots of things. We'll continually go back to the Pathfinders and explore things with the Pathfinder.